My name is Pradeep Nair. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, currently working with Allied Solutions. In this session of design thinking, what I'm expecting is how do we merge the two things. One is the logical part of how do we take up projects and work with data, etc. And the other one is the creative part. How do we generate solutions? How do we ideate? How do we ensure that some of the solutions which are remote, how does that come into light? So I'm looking at the merger of both the left and right brain in solving a problem.
Hi, I'm Aditi. I do a lot of leadership development work with individuals and organizations. One of the key elements in my work requires me to understand people and craft customized solutions for them. My work really involves understanding people and crafting customized solutions. So the cookie cutter approach doesn't really work for the work I do. And therefore I feel that today in the workshop, it would be great if I can take away some tips and tricks to empathize better with my customers, understand their needs a little bit more, and come back and design something which makes more sense to them, which appeals to them much more, which is more targeted at what they need, right? So I think those are my expectations, and I think there's this whole buzz about design thinking anyways, and I feel that the work I do somewhere I can be a little bit more effective by integrating a few more tools which are, either scientific or intuitive in nature. So I don't know. I'm coming in with a lot of curiosity. I'm coming in with a lot of openness, and I'm really looking forward to today. And fingers crossed that I'm going to have like a fantastic day.
Thank you for inviting me for this workshop. This has been, one of the best workshops that I've attended on design thinking. Here we talked about going back to the user, understanding what is it that the customer needs and designing your product or service according to that. One of my greatest takeaways is that, empathy map, understanding the needs of the customer, what is it that the customer is feeling, doing, thinking, and what are the various pains and gains related to the customer has been a tremendous tool which we can use in the future. So that has been my greatest takeaway for the day. I would suggest if it would have been a longer session, it was a one-day session and I was able to get a glimpse of it, but I know design thinking is an ocean, as I said, so there are a lot of tools, a lot of things to learn from it, and I've just got initiated into it. So as I said, there's a seed which has been sown. Now let's see how it gets into a plant and how does it flourish. Let's see.
A bunch of takeaways, but if I were to just pick a few, I think the first and foremost, I think for me, learning is the best when I'm, in a like-minded crowd. It's immersive. And Sunil as a facilitator really creates that very well. So for me, I think this whole big buzzword of design thinking got decoded. And I think I'm interested in kind of exploring it more. So first was interest. Second is, very simple, small little things which are present in our everyday life, and suddenly I'm going to be looking at it from a very different filter. Some of the simple frameworks and models that we were introduced to, I think for me that's a very big takeaway, that you go back to your life and you do the same things, but just that you introduce a different filter through which you see them so much more effectively. And then a couple of exercises. I think the exercises are very user-friendly. I can in fact go back and use them with my own set of clients, even at home with my family probably, if I have to kind of really make them brainstorm towards something. So very simple, easy to apply, and at the same time powerful. Actually, there are a couple of new projects that I'm in the middle of right now. Like I'm just about to start, and while I was in the class, I was actually thinking that, hey, can I take something back and apply it there? So that's the thought which has been going in my mind, because for me it's really important that once I've attended a workshop, I'm able to take something back and apply it very quickly. So honestly, I'm actually thinking on those lines already. There are a couple of places where I already think that I can apply it, the whole thing about not jumping to a solution and actually kind of exploring different ways of arriving at a solution. So I think that's the first thing. When we charted out the whole territory, that you're at the problem solving stage, and if you can take a couple of steps backwards and reframe the problem. So I think for me, right now in one of the projects, I need to take a meta approach. I can actually zoom out and look at a that have I even defined the problem correctly? So I think for me, that's one thing that I'm really itching to go back and apply very quickly.